Why don't we move right along, though? Let's talk about what we're here to talk about. Get started with some slogans. Obviously, this time of year, sports teams, they all have slogans, hashtags on social media, but particularly in the postseason in the NHL, the 4 remaining teams have particular slogans that they are using. Greg, what do you think about these, and do you think you would maybe make some modifications?
Oh, there's always room for editing, as my editor tells me every week. They say that there's no quit in New York. That's the Rangers slogan. No quit in NY, baby. That's all right. That's a pretty good one. But I prefer the edited slogan, unlike the subway, actually on schedule.
Oof.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that the Rangers, they're ahead of schedule. I disagree, man. They signed Artemi Panarin and traded for Jacob Trouba in the same offseason. And they're on schedule. There's no ahead of schedule. Meanwhile, the Colorado Avalanche, they got a slogan, find a way. That's the Colorado Avalanche's slogan, is find a way, but they make the A a little avalanche logo. It's real cute. My edit for this, and you see find a way right there, and everybody's hugging. It's very exciting. My new slogan is, all right, we've done all we can do. We've done all the game planning. Maybe just, F it. We'll just go in next year and not think and just win in this thing when we don't think that much. I mean, if you're talking to Nathan MacKinnon, he, of course, will relate to you with this slogan based on last season's postseason press conference. All right, Edmonton Oilers. Not very creative in Edmonton. Their slogan is hashtag Let's Go Oilers. That's super boring. We can do better, no matter how happy it makes Leon Draisaitl. We could do better. New slogan, goaltending is optional. Obviously, after seeing Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. I mean, would they improve with an empty net, Arda? It's possible. Goaltending is optional. Finally, the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Tampa Bay Lightning, they've got themselves a slogan for a couple of years now. Be the Thunder. That's what they say to their fans, is be the Thunder. They got real creative this year. Look, the B is a 3. It's like the movie title for the movie 7, where they replaced the V with the 7. The B is a 3, Arda. But we could do better. The new slogan for the Tampa Bay Lightning, LOL salary cap? I mean, let's not forget. Let's not forget why they're three-peating, man. Cap shenanigans, Arda. That's why they're three-peating.
Unbelievable. First of all, the truest thing you said throughout all of that, Greg, is that the subway is never on time in New York. 100% correct. Let's just make that perfectly clear. The Avalanche one, how long did that take you?
It took me a while. I had to Google Adrian Dater and Nathan MacKinnon, and then I was able to, I believe the technical term is copy and paste into another document, Arda.
Very nice, very nice. So we all got new slogans here. We also, around this time of year, because we're approaching the Stanley Cup Final, 4 teams will become 2 in a matter of a week or so. We start thinking, or continue to think, Greg, about the Conn Smythe Trophy. Now, as you have pointed out many times on this show, on social media, the Conn Smythe Trophy is not just a finals trophy. It is the entire 4 rounds of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Who is on your Conn Smythe Trophy watch for each team?
Well, I headed to the dungeon and I put together a list, Arda.
Hey folks, it's time for the Conn Smythe Watch as we talk about who deserves to be the Stanley Cup Playoffs MVP. Let's look at all 4 teams left in the tournament, look at some favorites and look at some dark horses, starting with the Tampa Bay Lightning. My MVP favorite for the Lightning right now has to be Nikita Kucherov, their leading scorer. I mean, Victor Hedman got his MVP award, Andrei Vasilevsky got his MVP award. Where is Nikita Kucherov's dinner? And by dinner, of course, I mean copious amounts of Bud Light. That all said, he's leading the team in scoring. If they win the Stanley Cup, you could easily see Kucherov winning MVP honors, and then it'd be worth it just for the post-game press conference. Dark horse candidate Ross the Boss Colton, 5 goals for the Lightning, doing yeoman's work in their bottom 6 and becoming the new Yanni Gourde. The New York Rangers. Obviously, the favorite's got to be goalie Igor Shesterkin, right? He dragged them into the playoffs. He was their best player against the Carolina Hurricanes in round 2. And if they get past through the Tampa Bay Lightning, you have to imagine it's because he has outdueled Andrei Vasilevskiy. The dark horse candidate? How about defenseman Adam Fox? Very close to leading the Rangers in scoring in the postseason. And don't forget, back in 1994, remember the Mark Messier guarantee Stanley Cup win, the whole thing? It wasn't Mike Richter, the goalie, that won MVP. It was defenseman Brian Leetch. Over in the Western Conference, Colorado Avalanche. I think based on the Game 1 performance, you've got to give MVP honors to Cale Makar right now. No disrespect to Nathan MacKinnon, who I think is right there neck and neck. But, Cale Makar is setting records for defensemen of these playoffs. I think the voters are going to be behind him to try to be the MVP if the Avalanche win, if he leads the team in scoring. It's looking pretty good for Cale Makar right now to have the inside lane for MVP. Dark horse candidate, how about Nazem Kadri? I mean, obviously the hat trick against the St. Louis Blues under incredibly tough circumstances is a memorable moment for the Avalanche in these playoffs, but he's also playing great hockey, putting up points, and it could be a big X factor in this series against the Oilers. Speaking of the Oilers, Edmonton Oilers, the favorite for MVP? It's obviously Connor McDavid. Come on, you know where I stand on this. If the Oilers don't make the Stanley Cup final, I still think McDavid should get consideration for MVP honors. It's an award for the entirety of the playoffs. It is not an award simply for the finals. That's what makes hockey great. Finally, the dark horse candidate for the Edmonton Oilers, it's got to be Mike Smith. I think if the Oilers advance to the Stanley Cup final, it's going to be because Mike Smith got pulled in Game 1 and then pitched like 4 straight shutouts. Why? Because he's Mike Smith. It's just what he does. Thanks for watching Conn Smythe Watch.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.